手置きを見せてやる。
Alright, so in this one, we are going to be making my top 10 unit tier list as of June 4th, 2022, where Legends is not in the second anniversary yet, but we are in part 1 of anniversary. This list, I am telling you now, will change drastically from part 2. If we get a part 3 from part 3, this list will change drastically, but this is my list that we are going to be making now, just because this could help new players if these units are out and they can decide, okay, this many units and this many teams is top tier, let me go for these units. And just to say a few things, by the way. 1, we are attempting to hit 15,000 subscribers before the anniversary does end, so if you are new and enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe. 2, if you need QR codes and Shadowrun wishes and all that stuff, just want to join Discord server, join mine in the description down below. It is a spot where you can get all that stuff and just enjoy a community, I guess, if you'd like, right? Again, just to reiterate, this point is being said just because it needs to be said. This list will change. This is right now. This will change from 3 weeks from now. This will change in a few days with Vegeta Blue Zenkai. Honestly, like, I could wait to do this list. You'll probably see Vegeta Blue in top 10, like, realistically. But I do want to do this. I feel like it can help people out, and I also feel like with my experience of playing PvP since first anniversary, of hitting God rank 12 times, of being consistently top 100, 200, 350, 10, like whatever, being a consistent top, ranking thing, it helps people value the opinion more. So yeah, top 10 list, every single unit on the list I will be explaining. Obviously, it will get more dicey and hard to actually put the units in respective spots when we get to like 5 through 8. That's kind of like the hard spots. I think 1 through 4, I got it nailed down. 5 through 8, it's all a little mixed bag. It's kind of hard to do. But then 9 and 10, nailed down, right? So let's just get into this, right? The first unit that is, well, the best unit in the game is the androids. I'm sorry for people that think it's MUI Goku, but I can assure you with these androids, they are beyond belief. When you have the tag mechanic and you have good defenses, you have good offenses, you have stacking offenses, you have stacking self-offenses, you have stacking supportive offenses, because the androids per new combo they do, they give you support per new combo they've done, right? That's to all allies, not just to android, not just to future, to every ally the entire game, with being an incredible damage dealer. Now, they do have a drawback, which is their start of, combo damage doesn't go up that high because they start off at a lower percentage, but then they build it. They build it per 20% per new card they do, a Striker Blast. So it's going to be 20, 20, 20, and you're stacking up quickly, right? And the premise of running them on a red, purple setup of MUI, Whis, and or the androids, honestly, you don't even need MUI there. You just have it for the stalling mechanic. You could have any red at that point. You could have CMZ, you could have Cell, Rabble Cell. They can do everything. They also have Dragon Ball manipulation, where you tag out from 18 to 17, and the thing is, you're not maybe running into the most yellows right now, but that's because these androids. That's really the premise behind that. Then when you have 18 out, okay, well, the units that are meant to counter out 17, 18 can two-shot. 18 is going to drop your Vanish with her green card. Then again, you have that red, purple setup, you're spawning green cards, given that's a one-time thing. But 17, you land either 17 or 18's green card, which 18's obviously easier. You can infinite combo, and you can predict what's going to happen, right? Let's say you get MUI to below 60% HP in 2 hits. Well, you're probably anticipating this idea, and it usually will work out that, hey, that MUI is very low, I can drop combo. Again, new combo, every new combo, you get 20% damage inflicted to your allies and yourself. You drop that combo, you're infinitely skyrocketing your damage because you knew what's going to happen. You play the game long enough, you understand the mechanic of, let me drop this combo, let me go back in, and I can do whatever the hell I want. The androids are an impenetrable wall right now. I don't know what could stop them. They feel like they dropped like 3 months early, because you look at, I don't know, the level of Jiren and Bardock to the androids, and it's like, these guys feel like they're supposed to drop like after superheroes already been out and all this stuff. Given I feel like they are actually dropped early by accident because of the big leak or big hack superhero had, but they've been here. They are the #1 unit in the game. Yeah, this is... there's a unit that contests them, but that unit still struggles against them. And that's the #2 unit here, which will be Mr. Ultra Gogeta. I did have the idea that Ultra Kaioken was #2 for a good minute, because I was thinking, okay, he's slippery, he can manage these you know, situations where he can get out of reds and kind of like maybe deal with them. Still gets like O-coded by them, but he can maybe deal with them. But no, there's not even any purples that are going to be that relevant. Maybe just Cell, but that's it. Like, that's one purple when there's two reds. When there's no purples running out besides that one purple, it's like, what's the value of Ultra Kaioken in that aspect? It's not as fulfilled as Ultra Gogeta, where he is facing off against the androids. And obviously, if you get Ultra Gogeta to, let's say, have your ally gets defeated. Okay, well, now Ultra Gogeta is going to come in. He's going to go neutral. Regardless if it's 17 or 18, he'll be neutral. He'll be fine. And he could, boom, 3-card them. Boom, 4-card them. That's kind of a counterplay to Ultra Gogeta to handle, like, the androids and MUI. Any real red unit, just a unit that can devastate your entire team, right? He can counterplay any of those units because he's going neutral. He's having that lock-in twice, 5-timer counts each single time. He can handle this. In the same respect, he also doesn't have as fulfilled of teams. That's the thing with Ultra Gogeta that really does stunt him right now. If Ultra Gogeta had, dude, oh man, if you just had a better third unit, because it's G4, Ultra Gogeta, who's your third? Super Vegeta ain't it? Right now, especially, you're really not running Super Vegeta. So you don't really have a third unit. Let's say you try to run Majub. The androids will 2-card Majub. Like, there's not a safe option to run, and yes, you can leader slot units and all this stuff, but to like really optimize Ultra Gogeta, you want to run him with like his best setup, which would be the best pure equips, the best everything, so he can really like pop off like a god. But if you can't run a ideal perfect setup for him, well, you're gonna lack a little bit. That's why he's not number 1 while he is being blue to counter out this red unit. There's also 18 that counters out this Gogeta, because in the same respect, Gogeta can 3, 4, 5 card 17, 18 when he's neutral. He can also get 3, 4, 5 card when they're not neutral, where they can maintain their advantage or disadvantage the entire fight. The power of the androids is so strong. Maybe not their annoyingness, besides their green card landing with 17, because that's annoying as hell, but their power of just output is so raw and just, oh, it's so high. I will say, though, one thing, androids are still boosted. Look, I have them 14 stars. I don't think boost will kill them off. Will it still make them number 1? I think that's up to debate. Again, we will see, right? But they are still boosted. Just a reminder of that. Some of these units are still boosted. They just got boosted. So they are going to be higher than maybe they deserve to be because boost system. But it's hard to calculate how is a unit going to be after boost when they're existing with boost, right? We got to see later on. But right now, unconditional number 1 there. Number 3, I like to talk about the androids more when I'm talking about the Gogeta for number 2. But number 3, I think, is MUI. I think he is in a fine spot there. I don't think he'll move up, at least right now. Again, with the androids losing boost, maybe, that's going to be a hard one to say, but maybe MUI could be better than the androids. I don't personally see it, but maybe, right? MUI has the most broken neutral play in the entire game. What I mean by this is you can stand there and do nothing, or you could stand there and play aggressive as hell. So if I'm going to use an MUI and I'm up against an MUI, well, that's just 2 passive plays. But if I'm up against MUI, or if I'm using MUI rather, and I'm up against any other unit in the entire game, just not MUI, right? What happens? I could either play super aggressive, and it'll work out amazingly because every single player in the entire world right now is expecting MUIs to be passive because that's what every other player is playing him, right? You play him passive, you get those auto dodges, sure, you get some free hits, it's all nice and lovely and great. But if you play him aggressive, you can carry solo with MUI, right? Now, obviously, he does have some drawbacks to him where he's not going neutral. He doesn't have endurance to last man standing. Even so, 2 units above him, I mean, Gogeta can nullify endurance for 60 counts in a peak spot. Androids can nullify endurance the entire hit. Did I mention that, by the way? They nullify endurance fully. Future Gohan? Ouch. Majub? Ouch. Right? MUI doesn't have some things you would... Honestly, you would hope for. For an anniversary unit, you would hope they could go neutral. You would hope some things like that. But, you know, clearing of that, he still can do insane damage on his strikes. His ultimate hits like a fucking nuke, especially if you pop 2 green cards prior to it. Blue card's a quick animation, so even if you miss it, like, honestly, I don't know why it's a quick animation. It should be a long animation to, like, counter him out, because if you miss it, and let's say they instantly attack, well, you just auto-dodge. So it's like, So what's the... You literally can throw that. If you don't get PV'd, you're perfectly fine to just stand there and do nothing, and okay, you just got a free blue card off. And a lot of times, Dragon Balls can be held on blue cards, so it's like, you can just throw this for free, make them sidestep, because they're going to sidestep, and then boom, they can't even hit you. Like, it should have been a long animation, to be real. But MUI is definitely the most annoying unit in the game to play against right now. His neutral play, passive play, whatever, aggressive play, every single type of play that he can make is very hard to understand. You really don't know what you're going to get into when you're playing against an MUI every single match. Sure, there's the commonality of a lot of people will just play passive with them, but if you get into a match where you're playing against someone that like knows MUI and they're going over aggressive, under aggressive, just like in 2 millisecond split, MUI is probably the best unit individually when you can master him on a unit that needs to be mastered, right? So I'm thinking of like MUI Goku, I'm thinking of MUI, I'm thinking of just some other units. Ultra Kaioken even to an extent, you have to like think when you use him, right? He's probably the best unit that needs to be mastered to like be in the game that's mastered. Obviously the androids, you don't need to master them, just tag in out, tag in out, tag in out. Gogeta, literally just click cards, he's that simple. MUI, there's a skill difference with MUI. Once you get up there with him, he can look like a god beyond belief. I think top 3 is perfectly fine for him as number 3. Again, him not going neutral or anything like that, him having endurance late, and even so, even having endurance, Gogeta clearly is going to clear him, right? Even if he is having boost and all this stuff, Gogeta does do better. But MUI, number 3, anniversary unit, happy to see it. I just, you know, didn't expect the pre-V anniversary to be number 1 while the anniversary unit is number 3. Because you look at last year, Forku came out last year pre-anniversary, right? He was that pre-anniversary LF8, and well, Forku to G4 is not really CMZ even is not really a comparable thing, but the Android MUI, whoo, that is whoo, we are there, huh? But number 4, where is my bestie here that I and everyone else in the world hated to play against for a long time, and there he is, Ultra Kaioken. I think this is pretty straightforward, right? Ultra Kaioken, while he is getting screwed over by those reds up there, he can still be slippery enough to do work. Ultra Kaioken can get infinite vanishes, it feels like. Obviously, it's only up to 6, but... or 5 or 6, whatever. See? I don't even know, and I play against them every single day. Get infinite green cards, it feels like, which, honestly, at this point, it feels like he's a green card spawner. It feels like Ultra Gogeta, he has a blue card spawner. Kaioken's a green card spawner, like, it's insane. He can do his, main ability as well, which is no flash cover change. MUI can do the same exact thing, but I think... Does Goku's last more? Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. I think it lasts longer. I think it lasts longer, like 5 counts, but if it doesn't, you know, it is what it is. He can no special cover change, and why that's more important to him anyways is because this guy's getting double, triple, quadruple card draw speed, right? He's just going and going and going. He's getting infinite green cards. He's spawning double rushes, like, out of thin air. Ultra Kaioken, while he's not the perfect color right now, he definitely is individually one of the more perfect units in the entire game. Again, if he were just, and honestly, any other color, I could easily, maybe not easily, I could argue MUI equal to Ultra Kaioken. If Ultra Kaioken were any other color right now, any other color, I could probably argue number 3 is tied for both of them. But for Ultra Kaioken, he is yellow. You know, RIP Bozo, Mr. Evo Vegeta, and Gogeta Blue, because holy shit. Yeah, you're never using them over him. Maybe after like a Zenkai for them, but Ultra Kaioken can infinite combo, does well on his teams, and if he's lacking anything, it's just the amount of purples. Like, he's not lacking anything individually. He is a solo individual god, but if he could be lacking anything, it's just that there's no purples. So what's my usage of him going up for? It's not going up, it's maintaining. Like, again, if these units were any other color, or if he were any other color, he would go up. But there's no purples, so he's staying at number 4, which honestly is probably the lowest I'd ever put this guy. I don't think he'd ever be lower than that until power creep hits. Now, number 5, I did say 5 through 8 is a little bit tricky. I have some candidates here, so I'm just going to touch on them, and, you know, you guys draw your own opinions from this. I'm going to place them, obviously, but you guys draw your own opinions. So number 5 through 8, I'm thinking of units in such an order of Cell would be number 5. I'm thinking Angel Golden Frieza would be number 6. I'm thinking Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta would be number 7, the LF Zenkai. And I'm thinking Revival Frieza would be number 8. That's what I'm thinking. So, I'm going to go over it. I'm going to put it as that. I think there's a lot of debate with the Vegeta and the Golden Frieza. I think even Cell has debate with Golden Frieza. But, let me try my best to explain this, because I know I see a lot of things where it's like, how could Cell be so high? Look at the yellow. Yes, I understand that, but let me try to go over this. Now, Cell. Cell has Plot Equip, he has a lot of damage inflicted, he has a lot of stuff he can do. But he's not the perfect unit right now, right? You do have Ultra Kaioken running around, but do you have too many yellows running around? Is Ultra Kaioken the only yellow running around? I would argue, yes. With that, would Cell's value really decrease that much? Because even prior to this, big stuff of Anniversary with another red dropping, were you seeing a lot of, yellows out? You weren't. You were seeing Future Gohans, you were seeing Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken's, and that's it. You weren't seeing any Full Power Friezas, but you always had the androids up there. Number 1 were already existent, and when Cell got his plat, number 1 was already existent again. So I feel like Cell's value could be, determined to be 6th or 5th. I wouldn't argue with someone if they said Golden Frieza above Cell. It's just, I don't think Cell's value has gone down an entire tremendous hill, because his core is set up where you could run, let's say, androids, Revival Cell, and then, LF Cell. Still does work out well, because you do have the support from the androids, and they will be hard carrying, given that is just how they work. They will hard carry every single match. It's not a perfect team, it's not an amazing team right now, but it's also not a team that's going to screw you over, because I'm looking at the androids. Okay, well, they'll counter out the yellows, which there are no yellows, and then they'll counter out the blue units, because 18. Okay, well, I'll counter out both my weaknesses there, then I'll have Cell to protect me over other weaknesses. I feel like it can work out. Now, again, I don't think Future is in a number 1 spot right now. I think a mix of Future Gaki, that red-red-purple setup, is number 1. But Cell definitely has not been seen as much, I will say. I don't think a unit not being seen indicates them actually being, bad. But it does indicate something, right? It indicates that maybe there's some fall-off to where this unit just isn't as much needed as they once were. And with Cell, he definitely is not needed as much. But you will see here, with numbers 6 through 10, there's going to be a couple of greens, and respectably, they deserve to be on this list. So Cell being a purple will help, because there's only 1 yellow above him. There's going to be like 3 greens below him. Cell still has value. Maybe it's not number 5, but it could be number 6. The lowest I'd put Cell would probably be number 6. But number 6 here is going to be Mr. Golden Boy, Golden Frieza. Now, the reason he's number 6, rather, is because LOE is... to be blunt, I think it's lacking a 3rd unit right now. LOE has Revival Frieza, Golden Frieza, and then who's really your 3rd? Full Power Frieza. If you're running Full Power Frieza right now, it's a suicide watch, honestly. You, in good confidence and good conscience, you can't run Full Power Frieza and think like, okay, like this is that guy I gotta use right now. I just don't feel that, personally. I don't think it's I think that works out, because again, you look at number 1, you look at number 3, you can't cope and say, Full Power Frieza, I gotta run this guy. He is amazing right now, gotta use him. How could you say that with number 1, number 3? It doesn't make any sense. LF Zenkai Frieza, I don't even think he can round out a top 10, and even with that, LF Zenkai Frieza is only offering you support, and that can only go so far, right? There is some value in support units, but I'm looking at a support unit right there, number 1. They do combos, and then they support. Like, the comparison to the androids to LF Zenkai Frieza, obviously, I know, the age difference between them is extraordinary, but the comparison, that 3rd unit's just not enough. Like, if I'm running red, red, purple, I'm not struggling against LF Zenkai Frieza. I'm not struggling against anything while I'm using, like, Ultra Kaioken on Gaki with MUI, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Ultra Kaioken. I'm not struggling against that Frieza. He exists, he can be annoying with that green card, but he's really not as potent as you think he could ever be. Like, he's a support type, right? That's his whole gist. He wants support, wants to spawn you blue cards. He can make Golden Frieza go cracked if you get the blue cards at perfect timing and all this annoying stuff, but is he someone that's gonna, like, individually really, like, help you out to an extent that's gonna save a team? No, and I don't think LOE needs saving, it's just that LOE needs a 3rd. They don't have a 3rd. Similar to Fusions, LOE doesn't have a 3rd unit. It's just Ultra Gogeta's in a better value spot because, hey, look at me, I'm blue, there's 2 reds in there around me, let me deal with them. Also going neutral, also, all that stuff, but Frieza can't go neutral as well, it's just his is more limited to blue card. But yeah, Golden Frieza, definitely a very good option. Definitely the best LO unit by far in a way, but I do understand the argument to where he would not be in a top 5 spot. Again, I can't see Cell and Frieza swap. I can see it, but I could also see the argument to where Cell is just higher because there's going to be greens down here. Cell's purple. The simple logic of purple beats green. There's only one yellow running around. What am I going to do? I'm going to put the purple higher, right? That's just how I'm going to view it. Very simple wise. Then, number 7, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. I think his value has maintained. Honestly, this Zenkai, his value has maintained for a good minute here. When did he Zenkai? A couple of months ago, right? Yeah, he's maintained pretty good value to still be a top 10 unit, especially with the units around him. So getting a plat equip for all that shit. But Vegeta, again, you see 2 greens there, by the way. There's gonna be another green on this list. Vegeta, he works perfectly with MUI. He probably is, if not his perfect partner. Whis is a perfect partner, but Vegeta is definitely a suitable partner for MUI. Green and red color covering each other. Vegeta having that amazing snipe to where, hey, Mr. Number 2, I'm going to snipe the hell out of you. MUI, he can snipe any unit in the entire game, really, because Vegeta ramps up so quickly. You do 2-3 strikes or 2 or 3 blasts, whatever. Just ramp up with the guy, and you're going to snipe the hell out of somebody. But his full utility really is that in covering. That's kind of where he starts to leak. Now, Vegeta can do good damage, just like if you're getting a raw combo, but if I'm getting a raw combo with Vegeta, okay, I'm getting support for myself, I'm going to MUI. I'm going to Ultra Kaioken, because Vegeta takes a little bit too long in the beginning of a combo. Obviously, if you do his ult and his main and all that stuff, that's negligible, but if you already did that, okay, you're going to MUI, he has higher damage inflicted on entry. Okay, you're going to Ultra Kaioken, he has higher damage inflicted on entry. And you're kind of combo extending from Vegeta from there. So with Golden Frieza just being individually allowed to do anything he wants in the entire match, Vegeta, he has that spot to do it. He has that on his main ability. He has that circumstance where he can work out and do nice things. But is he consistently just popping the hell off where he can just do amazing things 24/7? No, Golden Frieza is. That's why Vegeta would be below. Even if Vegeta has a more fulfilled team, individually Golden Frieza is stomping. Obviously, this is more based on a whole premise, right? I'm thinking of the androids individually, then the androids on their best team. Well, the androids individually and on their best team are number 1. Ultra Gogeta on his best team maybe isn't in his number 2 spot, but he's perfect for right now where there's 2 reds. He can go neutral, he can lock in. His individual kit is carrying him to number 2 more than his teams. Again, this list, if it weren't obvious enough, is more on the precedent of team and individual unit, because it's hard to rate that, but I feel like it's possible, and this is what that is. So Vegeta, he has on a fulfilled God Key team. I think it's a second option God Key team of Vegeta, MUI, or Whis is a third, Ultra Kaioken is a third. Regardless of who the third is, that team is inferior to the future / God Key mix of Whis, MUI, and the androids, because, well, also Whis got to glow up. Wow. Like, from 0 to hero type of thing, because no one's using Whis prior, but now the androids with Whis, oh my god. I'm surprised we didn't see that, actually, because this didn't, like, make that happen. It just made it more annoying because MUI. But, number 8. Did I state number 8? I don't think I did. No, I did. Revival Frieza, right? Yeah, Revival Frieza. Now, there's not much anti-revival. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 on this list. Wow, we're going to get to 3 on this list. Nice. But there's not much anti-revival. I mean, above him, there's only 1. And again, Cell, you aren't seeing that common to also argue. I'm not seeing Revival Frieza common. I'm not seeing Vegeta common. I'm not seeing Golden Frieza common. These 5 to 8 units, I'm not seeing common. Now, the argument would be, well, the top 4 are just that broken. But also just to say, a reminder, just because you don't see units common doesn't mean the units are bad. I want this to really be emphasized because I see a lot of debates where it's like, well, I never see this guy in PvP, that means he's bad. That's not what that means. Sure, that might mean the unit has lesser value than these other 4 behemoths above him. Sure, but does that mean the unit's bad? Hell no. Hell no. The units are still good. But Revival Frieza, the Revival mechanic, honestly, that's really good. If you didn't have a Revival mechanic, you wouldn't even be on this list. Like, that's just easy. But the Revival mechanic, you're not running into Cell as often. You're not running into units like G4 or annoying units like Beerus or something like that. You're not running into these units that can really just fuck over this Revival mechanic. Like, personally, in 6 days of MUI existing, I haven't, or a week, whatever he's been out for, I've run into Cell a handful of times. Like, that's it. I haven't run into him at all. G4, I've run into, I think, like, twice. I haven't run into any of these annoying units that can really like benefit off of Revival Frieza existing as a Revival unit. And with that, having a Revival mechanic, having extra life basically is like a back pocket type thing. You can really just make new plays work, make stuff work for you. He also goes neutral when he revives, which honestly, in theory, it's like, oh my god, this guy goes neutral. It's like, he doesn't gain defenses and offenses, but I think he gains a little bit of offense. Not too much, but he gains not as much as like Revival Gohan type of thing, right? The purple one. But he definitely has like, oh my god, because he can have a fast blue card on his post, he has a slow green card on both, but, you know, it could still be very annoying if you do land it. And obviously with Eloise Dragon Ball manipulation of Mr. Golden Frieza, and, well, Revival Frieza technically does manipulate because he has that second main ability, on top of having a Revival unit, you're not really going to rush the Revival unit usually. He definitely can be annoying, and maybe not the most perfect unit individually, but the Revival mechanic is really what steals his deals number 8, because he's with Golden Frieza and he has that Revival mechanic. That is really like his spot to be. Then, number 9. Now, number 9 I think is G4. Now, why do I think it's G4? Because G4 is consistent in an early to mid game essence, and again, this idea that there's not a bajillion purples running around, G4 actually has okay value. There's definitely a big drop off from, I would say, you know, 4 to 5, and then from 5 to 8, I think there's a bit of a drop off. Not as big as, you know, 4 to 5, but 5 to 8, number 9 and 10 definitely do have a bigger drop off than you would anticipate. To where G4, he isn't doing this insane stuff of Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He's also not on the insane team of Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He's not on the insane team of LOE units up there, or even Cell. But what he can do is he can get some good damage inflicted, and he can have some okay cut for the first combo that he does take. And from that, it does give him some sense of value. It doesn't give him the most. Honestly, top 10 units, number 10 and below, really just start to falter to where you see very glaring issues. G4 even already has a glaring issue to where he can, you know, look pretty mediocre after his main ability's been popped, but at least he has the essence and circumstance to look good, right? If you don't have a circumstance to look good, you can't be top 10. He can look good in spots, he can do fine, he can do a lot of stuff. If you're winning a match early game and you're just crushing it and you're destroying, well, it's probably because of G4 doing a lot of stuff for you. On top of, you run G4 with Ultra Gogeta. Well, here, I could beat out MUI, I could beat out androids, I can beat out, if I have to deal with, well, not many blues, but Ultra Gogeta, I could beat out Revival Frieza, and I could beat these units out if I do see them. Again, Revival Frieza is not too commonplace, but you have a lot of units you could beat out, you have a lot of good early to mid-game damage G4 can offer. While he kind of stops there, he still has that, and that's enough value for me to put him here, because I'm looking at these units, and these are all more or less top-tier units. I don't think units have as much value. And don't worry, I'm going to explain 2 units that aren't going to be on this list and why they aren't on this list, because I think it's very, I think it's very needed to explain them, but I will explain them. Then the last one here, I think number 10 is Sword of Hope Trunks. Now, I guess I'll explain it here. Why Frieza and Full Power Frieza and Future Gohan aren't on this list is because, look, man, look, I can't in good conscience be saying Future Gohan is top 10 when the number 1 and number 3 unit in the game are red. How could I say that? I can't. I personally can't. The only yellow I think is slippery enough to exist in this meta right now is Ultra Kaioken. If you run Full Power Frieza, you're getting 2-carded by the androids. I'm sorry, you're getting 2-carded by MUI. You run Future Gohan, you're getting 3-carded because you have endurance, and then you're dead. You're not running them, you're not seeing them. That's kind of a case where it's like, you don't run them, you don't see them. There's an obvious reason for it. You know, some units, it's just kind of, they fall down a little bit in their tiers and their, you know, actual goodness in match. Well, that's these 2 units where they're yellow, these are red. The simple logic is, that shit ain't gonna fly. It doesn't work. But to explain number 10 of Sword of Hope Trunks, exactly why. The opposite reason of Full Power Frieza and Mr. Gohan, he's blue. You're running into MUI seemingly every match. Maybe the androids are a little bit less frequent, but you're still running into them a lot. Trunks can get his gauge. Trunks doesn't get gauge, unfortunately, from the you know, auto attack that MUI does, but he can do stuff to MUI. He can probably one-shot MUI even without his full gauge active. He's like high stars to like an okay star MUI to like a 9-star MUI. On his ultimate, he probably could one-shot. Trunks with gauge can do nice. Again, him being blue really is like what's sealing his like definitive like value, because I'm gonna see androids or future, whatever the mix is, and I'm gonna see blue, red, purple. I'm not going to see purple, red, yellow. I'm not going to see that. I'm not seeing Future Gohan. I'm seeing Sword of Hope because his value is going up because there's more reds in the meta. It's just how it goes. When the meta shifts, different units get different value. G4, has lost some value. Okay, Sword of Hope has gained some value. Okay, the yellow units have lost some value because they lost their best third unit, right? And then how it goes from there is just how it evolves, and that's how it is. I feel like this is pretty much wrapped. Huh. That was quicker than I thought. So the android's number 1, USG number 2, MUI number 3, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken number 4, Cell number 5, Angel Goku and Frieza number 6. Again, I see an argument to replace Angel Goku and Frieza and Cell, but I'm keeping Cell number 5. Look at the fucking greens. Cell exists. Yes, he's less used. Doesn't mean he's bad. These bottom 6 units are less used anyway, so it's like, does that mean they're bad? No, it doesn't at all. Angel Goku Frieza number 6, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta number 7, Revival Frieza number 8, G4 number 9, and Sword of Hope number 10. I'm pretty confident and happy with this. By the way, maybe like a caveat, just throw in. I think Whis is like a top 20 unit right now, by the way. Yeah. I know, right? Where did Whis come from? But yeah, Whis is probably like a top 20 unit right now. Honestly, I could even say higher, but I have to get more usage of Whis. But let me know what you guys think of my top 10 list. Oh, it's too long. No. Can I fit it? Kinda. Let me know what you guys think of my top 10 unit list in Dragon Ball Legends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.